you? Welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm your host, Sam Squalia. This week's show, we have a few different guests. We're talking about New Players Theater Guild, the Once Upon a Mattress show, which is starting very soon. We're talking with the Queen Bee and the Emporium, downtown Fitchburg, and how their business is growing. And then in our final segment, we are talking with Josiah Richards from the Gateway Park Community Garden, and you can have opportunities to volunteer and also to have your own garden plot down at the Gateway Park, right on Sheldon Street. So right now I have with me Dr. Ed Knights. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me here.
I'm so glad you could make it. The director of Once Upon a Mattress.
Yes.
The New Players Theater Guild production.
Yes, yeah, opening on Friday night.
Friday, October 18th.
Yeah, and it's going this weekend, and the next weekend is Friday and Saturday evening shows, and matinees on the Sundays.
So Friday and Saturday, the shows are at 7:30 p.m.
Right, and the matinees are at 2.
And the matinees are on Saturdays?
That's on Sundays.
On Sundays at 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And tonight is their final dress rehearsal before the actors go up on the stage.
So for the final dress rehearsal, they do a full
everything.
They do everything just as they're supposed to on Friday night for the opening show.
Exactly. They can't say, "Oh, what's my line?" No, they have to help each other
Just go through it.
Absolutely. And then I make little notes and say, couldn't hear you on that one, or you know, you were facing the wrong direction, we couldn't see you, or whatever. And we tweak it a little bit at the end, and then it's ready to go.
Yeah. So this is at the New Players Theater Guild,
Yes.
which is on Rollstone Street.
It is. It's been a theater there since 1975, and they do several shows a year, family shows.
That's been a theater since 1975?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and its mission is to serve the Massachusetts audience, and they do that. It's community theater, so it's not for profit, and it has people coming to see it of all ages and people performing in it of all ages.
And it's a nice space, and it's handicap accessible with an elevator.
No, it doesn't have it has an elevator, but it's not working.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think it's working.
Oh.
No.
Well, it has the opportunity to be handicapped accessible.
It does, absolutely, but someday. Yeah.
Okay, so Once Upon a Mattress is it's a hilarious musical about the Princess and the Pea.
Yes, it's about this Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale of the Princess and the Pea. And the story of that is the prince is trying to find the princess, and none of them really seem acceptable. And the queen comes up with a plan of how to figure out if the princess will be acceptable and delicate and sensitive, and puts a pea under 20 mattresses, and then if the princess can sleep can't sleep because of that, then she must be sensitive. And that's the story, that's the fairy tale. And as you learn pretty quickly in the show, when the minstrel starts to tell you in the beginning, that's the story, but he was there when it really happened, and it's not exactly like that. And then you start to see the real
a little twist.
The twist, yeah. And so if you want to know what the twist is, you need to come and see it. But it does involve sensitivity, and it does involve a bed with 20 mattresses.
Oh,
so
really?
That's about, yeah. And then, typically it's set in medieval, because that's when they had princes.
Like castles
and all that. And the show actually was first went to Broadway in 1959, and it was actually Carol Burnett's first Broadway show.
Really?
Yeah, before she did anything else. And the show was nominated for a Tony, and she was nominated for a Tony as Best Actress. And then they had a Broadway revival in 1969, and so it was back in again. And since then, it's had several different television adaptations, and it's been around in community theaters for a long time.
And you have a little iteration change?
I
little
gave
fun?
it a twist. I decided this isn't your grandmother's Princess and the Pea. This isn't your grandmother's Once Upon a Mattress. So we're doing it in steampunk.
Steampunk, medieval, Victorian.
Yeah, more Victorian.
Yeah, more,
and it's got the gears.
Like industrial.
Industrial and goggles, and just
that's
over-the-top
so cool.
costumes and some over-the-top makeup and wigs and
We have Liz LeBlanc coming from the Emporium on next, and she has all kinds of good steampunk stuff in this shop.
We took pictures of it to use. We were just chatting ahead of your show, and come to find out that some of the corsets and stuff like that we constructed were based on the photos of the things that she has in her store.
Perfect.
In a restaurant. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we had a steampunk festival in Fitchburg a month ago or so, and people are like, "What is steampunk?"
Yeah.
The Victorian, industrial, like airships.
It's like what Victorians might have imagined the future would be like.
Sci-fi Victorian.
Sci-fi Victorian, exactly, and just kind of crazy and sort of over the top.
Mix that with a fairy tale and with singing and with laughter, and we have Once Upon a Mattress.
Exactly, and it's what's fun about community theater or any kind of theater is it's really group art. It's everybody all pulling together, and you have all these different people with all these different talents, and they they're working almost all of them for free, and they put together a show.
It's for the love of the theater.
It's for the love of the theater. They and you have the musicians who've maybe studied music all their lives, and they bring that skill, and you have the choreographer who maybe has been has studied dance and teaches dance, and then you have the director. In my case, I came from a background of doing some of all the things, acting, dance, and singing, and so I got a sort of on-the-job education.
Now you're putting it all together.
Yeah. Yep.
Can we throw up the main flyer up on the screen so everyone knows when and where? So there it is, New Players Theater Guild, Once Upon a Mattress. This is playing Friday, October 18th and 19th at 7:30 p.m. And then it'll also be playing the next weekend, Friday the 25th and Saturday the 26th at 7:30 p.m. right at New Players Theater Guild, which is, what is this, 15 Rollstone Street?
Yes, yep.
15 Rollstone Street right in Fitchburg. And then there'll be matinees on the Sundays, October 20th and 27th at 2 p.m. Tickets cost, how much are tickets?
They're $20 for adults, $18 for children and for seniors. And they can get them online through the initials for New Player Theater Guild, NPTG.org.
Because sometimes shows sell out.
They do,
because it's not that big of a theater.
No, it isn't.
I mean, it's a good size, but it's not that big. It's very cozy.
It's intimate.
It's intimate. That's a good word.
Yeah, and in this case, there's actually a drawbridge, and so sometimes the actors are closer than you might expect. If they come out on the drawbridge, they're practically in the audience.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah. Yep.
And this is a show that I can bring my 9-year-old to.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
So it's funny, but it's not raunchy funny.
No, it's not raunchy funny. It's just cute funny and silly funny, and sort of over the top funny. And it's got a wizard, and it's got a jester, and it's got a minstrel, and a wicked queen, and just all. And it's got a chorus of people, and there's a lot of dance in it also.
Oh yeah, dancing and singing. It's a musical.
Yeah, it's definitely a musical.
Can we, Jared? Can we pull up some pictures of the cast? Yeah, with spotlight. Yeah, we'll put the spotlight on some cast. Yeah. So who are we looking at, Ed?
That's Gavin, and Gavin is playing the minstrel, and he has done a lot of theater. He's a singer. He's a dancer. His mom, Julie, has also been very helpful for us with helping out with communications and stuff like that, and has brought us cookies. And
cookies.
Yeah. So you will see him. He introduces the show. He tells the story.
He's the minstrel.
He's the minstrel who tells the story, and then it goes from there.
Okay, who's next? What do we got?
Let's see. That is the person who is playing Lady Larkin.
Lady Larkin, is that a princess?
Yes, that's not a princess, but that is someone who is in love with Sir Harry, and some problems arise, and she tries to run away, but it ends happily. So,
who's next?
So that's Bill Horman. That's the king. The king is mute. He, because of a spell that was cast on him, he cannot talk. And so he has to do everything by miming, by signing.
I would be good at that.
He can't talk until the hawk is eaten by the mouse. And so this actually, in a way, happens, but you'll have to come see the show to see how he ever gets to talk.
Okay.
But in the meantime, you're watching him. That is our wizard.
The wizard?
Yes, yeah, and that is Jen Knight, who also has been helping us with the wigs, these elaborate Victorian wigs.
Ooh.
And so she is our Madam Wizard, and she has a brew that she stirs, and she mutters some Shakespeare, and she actually mutters some W.C. Fields, which those of you who have ever heard any of his bits might get to hear one of them that sounds familiar in the show. And so she is kind of the helper of the queen, and runs around.
To try to find the princess?
Yeah, well, they have to go, she helps put the princesses through tests. So the show starts with princess number 12, and that princess, I won't say how, but she obviously doesn't become the princess. The princess. And so that's who that is.
Oop.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That is Lady Larkin. The last person was Tegan, who is in the ensemble. This is Lady Larkin. They look similar, and so
Us blondes.
Yeah. There. So and she is. She does some gorgeous singing. She has a beautiful voice, and she sings a duet with Sir Harry. That's really. She actually sings 3 duets. They're little bits of the same duet.
Awesome.
And finds her way down on the drawbridge with him. And yeah, it's a romantic thing with some twists.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
On the drawbridge. Is that all we got? Oh, we have more?
Yeah. So that is Sir Harry.
Oh, Sir Harry.
Yes. And
sings a duet.
He has a gorgeous tenor voice, which you will get to hear if you come see the show.
Is tenor high?
Tenor is high, yes. And he just floats up there. And so their relationship, like I said, some stress arises. It's a major stress, and it resolves. And so you get to see that go through its evolution.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's the cast that we have.
That's the cast that you have pictures of, but
yes,
we have more.
Cast we have pictures.
We have more.
Yes, we have a group.
Yes.
Nice.
And they're all busy right now, getting all their things on and getting their makeup on and getting their
doing their dress rehearsal tonight.
Yes, and getting their
so
costumes.
That they're all ready for Friday.
Right. No more dresses dragging on the floor and nothing falling off. We hope.
So how long does the show last?
I'd say probably about, with the intermission, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. I haven't timed it. It should feel like it's just flying by. So
for anyone who hasn't been to a show yet, it starts at 7:30. So maybe get dinner first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because it's 7:30. I mean, definitely. I mean, there's snacks. There's like popcorn and stuff at intermission. And I think they also have snacks at the. I'm sure there is.
I love intermission.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There probably is stuff. I believe they have it also before the show starts, so you'll have snacks.
So you can have your popcorn.
Yeah. So,
Skittles.
Yeah,
popcorn,
Skittles, all those good
coffee
things.
Coffee to intermission.
Yeah, and I'm sure the actors have what's left over too. So, and then they can party if they have any energy left.
Nice.
Although, as the director, I don't want them partying too much until the end of the weekend. They need their sleep. Yeah.
So, are you planning on directing any show after this?
Yes,
do you have plans?
Yeah. I'm going to be directing Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I loved that book.
Oh yeah.
And the movie.
Yeah.
And obviously the theater production coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
When is Charlotte's Web? That's going to be
at Stratton Players, and that'll be. It goes up in the end of June.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be probably doing casting in May. And so
will there be kids in that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I really like to work with kids. Their minds are just so fast and so quick to retain. I can give. I was directing Anne of Green Gables, and I would give the younger Anne, who was I think maybe 10, notes, and I'd give her a whole lot of notes. I'm thinking she's not writing any of this down. How's she going to remember it the next night? And every single thing. You
She
know,
got
it was
it?
like, yeah, and if it had been me and some director was giving me all those notes, I'd be frantically writing it all down.
Too
and
much.
hoping I could remember it when I got back out on stage.
Yeah, they're
So
like
that's really
little
fun.
sponges,
They're
kids.
sieves, yeah, or sponges, right, exactly.
Yeah.
They just absorb it all. And it's really great.
Yeah, I
because-
heard great reviews from Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, and-
so
and-
Charlotte's Web, same director.
And yeah, so the kids, you know, it's a way for them to learn that's free. You know, now you can go and spend several $100s for a theater camp or whatever, or you have your child in a show, and we have to teach them for free how to act, how to sing, how to dance, and how to get along with other people of all ages, and how to be respectful of the other people and of their property.
What a
and
great
stuff like that.
experience
Yeah,
for the kids.
Yeah, and often when I do interviews like you are doing of actors myself, because I'm a president of a theater in Acton, and so I sometimes do TV shows there.
Yeah.
You know, I'll ask people, well, how did you get started in theater? And they're like, almost always, well, in first grade or in kindergarten, I was, and they could tell me their costume, and they remember all this stuff from the very first show. So very impressionable.
I was in 6th grade theater. I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't remember any of the lines, but I could picture the whole thing.
Yes, what your costume
like
was
I'm
and
there.
everything. Yeah. And some of them come from a family where there's other people who've been involved with the arts and stuff. And others of them, they're the first one. And so the family's like, whoa, you know, I didn't know my child could sing. I didn't know my child could dance. And off
It
they
makes
go.
you feel good
Yeah, they get the
seeing
bug,
you.
and then then it, you know, it gives them something fun to do, meeting other people.
It's certainly a meaningful, long-lasting memory. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's something you never lose
No.
when you work that
Yeah,
hard
yep,
to
yep.
to do a group art.
Yeah, absolutely, and if it runs in the family, I mean, we have people in the show now who have brought things that they are using as props that were in their family 2 generations ago, you know, pocket watches or hats or whatever, and or objects that have just been somehow handed down, you know, an old mortar and pestle, and you know, things like that. So it's sort of fun seeing your own family stuff from 2 generations before up there, or knowing that you're using something that's been in your family. And that way we get all of our props. A lot of the times.
And you don't have to buy a bunch.
Yeah. We try not to. But we also lend a lot from theater to theater. So there's really a lot of support. It's a network, and the actors go back and forth among different theaters. I mean, when we start out, you know, it's just it's audition, and we just post it in various places and Facebook and so on, and then we have the music director, the choreographer, and I all sit down and, you know, listen to what's happening. We also have always somebody from that theater who's been doing shows at that theater for a while, because sometimes they'll know something good or maybe not so good that we won't know from just an audition, and it'll help us in making casting decisions. And then, you know, that's the time when a director can really make a big mistake, because once you cast somebody, if that was a mistake, you kind of have to live with that.
If Thursday night they're like, I quit.
Oh yeah, and that does.
Do you have understudies?
No.
Do you do understudies?
We can't. We really don't.
It's a lot of work.
None of the community theaters do, because if you're going to do an understudy, you kind of really have to let them do performances too. It's just not right if you don't, and there's just not enough rehearsal time and to do that. But we have sometimes, if somebody gets sick or injured or something right toward the end, we'll ask somebody have to go out on what we call on book.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, we'll sing it or do whatever. But most of the time, they just struggle their way out, and they do just fine.
With a smile.
Nobody knows they're collapsing backstage and, you know, ready to be carried off. So, and that's part of the excitement of live theater, is that anything can happen. And, you know, you all.
So we're not watching for anyone to collapse, but it could happen.
No, well, if they collapse, it's deliberate in all likelihood, and been practiced a number of times. If anybody falls into a moat,
That's what you tell them.
It's okay. It's not an accident, you know. So it's an accident, but it's not really an accident.
All right.
Yeah.
So can we throw the flyer up on the screen for the end of the segment here, so we can remind everyone? Once Upon a Mattress, it's playing at the New Players Theater Guild Friday and Saturday night, October 18th and 19th, and the next weekend, 25th and 26th, 7:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, the matinees, October 20 and 27th, are 2 p.m. Tickets are $20 for adults, and for students and children, it's $18, and for seniors, it's $18.
Yes.
You can get your tickets online at nptg.org, or you can call 978-345-6570, or you have tickets available right at the door, as long as they don't sell out. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ed
Thank you
Knights,
very
director of Once Upon a Mattress. We'll see the show and we'll laugh with you.
Yes, great. I'll be there, laughing away.
All right, so we're going to take a short break, and then we're talking with the Queen Bee and the Emporium.
Chess Chat is the only television program in the United States that presents chess in the way we do it. We try to be entertaining, we try to actually inform, educate our viewers as far as the world of chess, which is a fascinating world. If more people took up chess, and especially young players, they would actually be exposed to critical thinking, learning logic. I mean, I think this is very valuable for especially youngsters, you know, at early age, to learn to be critical in their thinking, because I want to let people know that chess is a fantastic game, but it's also an art, it's a science, it's a sport. The world of chess has a wealth of information about chess. We could go on forever talking about chess players, chess events. I and my co-host will never run out of material for Chess Chat.
The people that I interview motivate me, and there are days that I might be very tired from working my real estate all day, and I think, oh, do I really want to do this? And I walk in here, and the lights and the camera come on, and I meet wonderful people, and voila, I'm motivated. People often ask me, 37 years, haven't you run out of interesting topics or interesting people? And there are so many interesting people. And I love spotlighting someone who hasn't gotten the recognition that I think they deserve. Your function as an interviewer is not to editorialize your opinions, but to draw other people out and ask the right questions that you'll get more and more from them. I'm still hanging in there after nearly 38 years. We're almost up to 38, so they'll have to kick me out because I'm not quitting.
Welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm Sam Squalia, and I am here with the Queen Bee and the Emporium, Elizabeth LeBlanc, Shireen Flowers. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
All right. So the Queen Bee and the Emporium. The Emporium is the store.
Yes.
That's downtown Fitchburg right now at 500 Main Street?
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Right at the corner of Main and Putnam.
And can we get the pictures of the Emporium up? So explain what you do there.
The Emporium is consignment and retail, so we do a good mix of pretty much everything. We have some people that like to just do consignment. They drop their items off, we sell them for them, they come back and pick up a check. We have people that like to have a storefront within a storefront, so they rent space from us and then they just price their own items, they decorate their own spaces, and we just take care of the transactions for them. And then we also have some retail in there for ourselves, so we started carrying like leather hats from American Hat Makers. We go out and find different little goodies and we bring them into the shop and we sell them ourselves there too. So it's a good mix of pretty much everything, from furniture to home goods to clothes, shoes, purses, hats, anything you can think of.
There's all kinds of cool stuff, and you have all kinds of cool Halloween displays. Can we throw up just a few of the displays right up on the main screen? So what's going on here?
So one of my friends actually drives out from Western Mass to consign with our store, and he is a Halloween fanatic. So he brought us all of his standing skeletons, which went within 24 hours. They were gone.
The standing skeletons?
The standing ones, all of the full body ones, they're gone now. He handmade this coffin down in the front and the standing toe pincher casket.
Toe pincher casket?
Yeah, like the old cowboy style caskets. He handmade those both, no power tools. He did everything by hand.
No power tools? Like a handsaw?
Yep. Like
really?
hand saws, hand planing.
Like one of those little, screw things?
Yeah, he went.
Drill?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And this is actually one of our space rentals, Dixie Belle chalk paint.
Dixie Bella?
Dixie Belle.
Dixie Belle.
Yep, chalk paint. It's for refinishing furniture. It's amazing. It really finishes smooth once you paint it out. You don't get a lot of streaks in there. And they have a really good, diverse color palette.
Oh yeah, you can see these spoons have been
Yep, she dipped all the
chalk
spoons.
painted.
Yep, so that you can get a good visual of what it looks like once it's dry. And they have different effects that you can do. So like you could put crackle on there, so it crackles the paint so you can see what the underpaint is. And then they've got some, I guess she has a spray too that's not there right now called patina spray, where you can spray the edges and make it look a little bit darker.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, she does
it looks,
a lot of
it looks
funky
old.
stuff. Yep, she does good stuff. And this is some of the items that come in on consignment. So this is, we have a whole set. There's used to be 4, I think there's now 3 mugs left of the Thirsty Bat and 2 plates that go along with it. So you have a whole little coffee set going.
The Halloween stuff. Oh, and what is this thing? It's a whole carriage? A whole Halloween carriage?
Yep, same guy. He used to compete in like a campground where he would go and he would decorate the whole campsite, and they had a competition. He was told he wasn't allowed to compete anymore, so he was just the headliner because he won too many times. And this is one of the pieces that he made. It's like a old horse, like a horse-drawn hearse. Yep. It's just for show.
Horse-drawn hearse.
Yep.
Yeah. Creepy.
Yep. So that's there now. You can definitely see that when you're driving past. Yep.
Oh, so here's the front of the store. So you can. So when you drive by, this is the store that you're looking at. The Emporium, open on Monday, Tuesday by chance. Wednesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nice. Very cool stuff. And so you are expanding the Emporium. You're growing out of your space.
Oh yeah, we've
because
already.
a lot of the stuff that we've shown on the TV, you've sold out of it already.
Yep, it's gone. A lot of it's gone. But yeah, no, we outgrew this space really quickly, and we didn't really do much marketing for it. I mean, it was just mainly Facebook and Instagram, people getting stopped at that light and just happening to notice that we were
look
there.
at all this cool stuff.
Yeah, and we can stand, when we're inside, we can see them at the light and they're all pointing and taking pictures. So I mean, it's been a really wonderful draw to have people coming in. They're just like, I'm so glad something's down here. And it's
Did you expect to be this hot and successcul?
No, we thought maybe like 6 months to a year, and it's been July 3rd was when we opened, so we're a little over 3 months now, and we've busted at the seams. Like half of our stock is packed up in the back right now because we don't even have space to put it on the floor. So we need more room.
So you're expanding the Emporium and also giving yourself more room for the Queen Bee.
Yep.
Yes.
And so you're expanding, where are you expanding to?
We're actually moving the Emporium down underneath Putnam Lanes. So it used to be.
So it'll be on Boulder Drive?
On Boulder Drive.
Or it'll be on Putnam and Boulder?
Yes.
Yep, right at that corner. We have the Emporium that's going down the end, right on the corner. And then the second door up is where the Queen Bee's going.
Oh, on Putnam.
On Putnam, yep. And you can walk in between the 2 spaces, so you don't even have to leave. You can shop and then eat and then shop. So it's a better space for us. It gives us more room for the Emporium to grow, and it also allows for people to come and get a good, healthy lunch.
Nice.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Queen Bee.
Yes.
So so you have a MainVest, which we have this hat here, MainVest. Now, how does that work, and what's your plan with the Queen Bee?
MainVest is crowdfunding investment. So it's not like the crowdfunding for donations. It's actually crowdfunding investment. So you do get
Crowdfunding for investment,
Yes.
to invest in it. Kind of like a Kickstarter where you get things out of it?
Yep, you do. And this way you get a business downtown. I mean, instead of going through traditional financing where we just go borrow the money, we pay it back with interest to a local bank or a national chain bank, we decided that we wanted to give the community a chance to invest in a local business.
Pay back interest to the community.
Exactly.
That invests.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they have a vested interest in the business succeeding. So it's built-in customer retention because they want to tell all their friends about it. They want to come down and be like, look at this place, and they want to bring everybody
I
with
invested
them.
in this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I
And-
own you.
yeah, it allows for them to get the return on it. The more successful the business is, the more successful their return is, and how much faster they get it. And when we were talking to the people at MainVest, they were wonderful to work with, and they helped us every step of the way. And if it doesn't succeed, that's fine. We still have enough people that are interested in it that we know that, okay, this didn't work out, but we have other alternative options. This doesn't, if the MainVest campaign doesn't succeed, it doesn't mean that your business doesn't. It's an alternate way to gain your funding initially to open up or expand.
So explain how the MainVest works for community investors.
It allows for, it's just an alternate funding source. So
No, I mean, say I want to invest. How do I do it?
You go to the website, it's mainvest.com. They have an interactive map. So as soon as you go to that main website, you can look at all the different investment opportunities there are. And you can even go to the Queen Bee and you'll see pictures of what we're offering. You'll get the outline of the terms. Everything is explained on there. And you can choose to invest in that business or dozens of others that they have listed on there. I think they have a couple breweries. There's some
Yeah,
other restaurants, skincare.
Are you the first one in Fitchburg?
We are the first one in Fitchburg.
Oh.
Yeah.
So explain what the Queen Bee is going to be. What's the plan for the Queen Bee? Shireen,
Basically,
you're
I'm the cook.
You're the chef.
I'm the cook, so I really don't want to do friolators. We want to offer our customers
More healthy stuff?
More healthy stuff.
We get a lot of requests for, I want a healthy restaurant. I want a place that's vegan. I want a place that's vegetarian. I need a place that's gluten-free, keto-friendly.
Yeah, so we're gonna be very-
These are niche markets, but they're very large. And ones that aren't catered to really around here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to skip the whole fried everything and the supersized portions. We want to, a half a sandwich, cup of soup, small meals that will get you through your midday without you wanting to crash and take a nap after, because you got to go back to work, So you just want something nice, light, and easy for our customers and ourselves too.
Yeah, we got one good picture of this egg meal that you have here. Can we throw that? Oh, what's
Ooh,
this?
the belt.
Is a BLT?
We called it a
egg?
belt.
Bacon, egg, lettuce, tomato.
Yep. So this is not one of the healthier options, but it is delicious. So
It's got egg.
Vegetable.
there's lettuce. This is actually all farm fresh and from a local farm stand. So the bread is from a local bakery, a homestead bakery in New Hampshire. The eggs also come from a farm stand in New Hampshire. They're locally sourced. I can probably name the chicken. Tomatoes and lettuce also came from the farm stand, and the thick cut bacon. Yeah, that all came from a farm stand, and we just, that's at my house that we made that, but it was absolutely delicious. Definitely not an everyday thing.
And what is this thing?
Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict. Oh, yeah. With farm fresh eggs.
Yep. Those are definitely farm fresh eggs, and she actually made the hollandaise sauce, so it's not from powder, which you get at a lot of other places. And the side of tomato instead of the potato was definitely
Healthier. So it'll be breakfast and lunch.
Eventually,
Well,
yeah.
yes. Right now, we're going to start off with lunch first. We're kind of doing it backwards until we build up our kitchen to the way we want it, to our standard, and just then we'll eventually be going to breakfast.
And so when does how long do you run this MainVest, and when do you figure you'll start building it out, and when do you plan on opening?
So MainVest runs until the end of November. So what we're planning on doing first is getting the Emporium moved down to its new spot. And once we're settled in there, we can start working on the next phase, which is getting the diner portion ready. Just painting the floors because they're cement floors. We want to make sure everything looks nice. We already have booths in there. There's already tables, so we don't really have to do much except for get like a sandwich making station in there and get a local distributor for our vegetable sides. We want to get as many fresh baked items in there, so we're actually looking into doing a convection oven in there right now, just to have somebody come in and bake fresh bread and bake maybe fresh pastries and things like that.
In-house.
In-house, yeah.
Yes.
We want to do everything in-house as much as possible and rotate. So we'll have a couple different bakers that can come through and they can bake whatever they want and it'll be available. And the menu is constantly changing based on availability, because we want to do as much farm fresh and seasonally available produce as possible. So we're going to be constantly changing the menu up with whatever's available.
I would definitely suggest keto, gluten-free,
Oh, yes.
and a vegetarian option.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I have friends that are all about that. And if we have one friend in the group that's gluten intolerant, then we have to go to we all have to go to a restaurant that caters to that.
Yep.
So I mean, you'll get huge business just by doing that.
Yeah, and we want to keep the menu pretty small, but we want to have alternatives in there. So if somebody does have a gluten intolerance, we can have a gluten-free option for them. A lot of the meat products that we're looking into, one of them's very big brand name, has a whole line that's gluten-free. So we can use that on any sandwich. It tastes exactly the same, but it's safe, and it's an alternative for people that have a gluten intolerance. And for people that are keto, I did keto for myself a long time, before now. So we can have those options available too, and we can always alter the menu. And since it's just a small group of us, we're not a national chain, there's a lot of variations that we can do based on local demand. So it allows us more diversity in our menu options.
Nice.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it.
So you plan on moving the Emporium soon?
Yeah, we already have the paperwork in with the city of Fitchburg, and we're hoping by the second week of November to be down there and open. And then the Queen Bee, hopefully it'll be open and ready by the end of December if everything goes on track.
The end of December?
Yep.
Wow, that seems quick.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, it moves fast.
Yeah.
We don't mess around. When we want to do something, we definitely do it.
Oh, well, I saw that. All of a sudden, one day, it was like, what, is that a consignment store in downtown? Look at that.
Yeah, we started planning that, I want to say the middle of May.
Yeah.
And then
June, July, bam.
Yep,
Yeah.
done. In, open, and done. And we had people in the door within the first 20 minutes.
Success,
Yeah.
business.
And everybody is, the customers have been great. They are so happy that we're down there, and they're excited for the diner as well, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need more restaurants in the city of Fitchburg.
Agree. We're downtown too. I mean, we're downtown Wednesday through Sunday, and we're running into the same problems of you have like the same 4 places to eat from, and we love them all, but sometimes you just
Change it
need-
up.
Yeah, something different.
Yep.
Something a
Although,
little
I
bit
mean,
later.
I do like to get the same thing every day. But my friends like to change it up.
Yep. No, we got it. But that's, we like we want the Queen Bee to be just like the Emporium is. We have our local customers. They come in every single day.
Yep.
They do the loop around the store and see what we put out new. And then they're like, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. So we want that type of environment just to extend into a diner.
And you could pop into the diner, order your food, walk around, see what kind of new
Absolutely.
stuff you got.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Go back to the diner.
Yeah, and you don't even have to go outside. It's one passway through. So,
That sounds really nice.
yep, I agree.
Good. And you could park right across the street at the Putnam?
Yeah, that's the other advantage of being in that new spot, is going to be able to offer parking on the weekends. It's going to be free.
Parking on the weekends
It's
is free.
Free, yep.
I think it's after
After
5
4.
or 6
Oh, is it?
during the week.
During the week after
I think it's 5 or 6.
after like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
it's free in
Yeah.
the ground level of the Putnam.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends it's free, and there's
And there's a
free
couple
spots.
spaces on
Yep.
Putnam Street as well.
Yep, 5 spots that are there. And then, if you're over at City Hall, just, meander on over, get lunch, and then you can go right back, and it'll be fun.
I can't wait.
We're excited.
So the new address will be
I think it is 18 Putnam and then 16 Putnam.
16 and 18 Putnam
Putnam,
Street will
yeah.
be the new address
Yep.
after the Emporium moves and after the Queen Bee's open. All right, so the Emporium and the Queen Bee.
Yes.
All right, anything else that we should add that maybe we didn't touch on?
I'm the queen.
Oh yeah, she's the,
Oh, Shireen is the queen.
Oh, just to let you know.
that's where we got the name. We call her Queen Shireen, so that's the queen part, and I'm Beth,
that
so
makes
Bee.
sense.
I'm boring, so. But she's got the queen part, so. And all of our names, everything that we do, it's a partnership between the two of us, so we like to keep it that way.
That's nice.
Yep.
All right. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about
Thank
the
you for having
Emporium
us.
and the Queen Bee.
Thank you.
We'll be excited to go and eat some some snacks.
Yep.
Some healthy snacks. Only healthy snacks. All right, so we're going to take a short break, and then we're talking about the Gateway Park Community Garden, which is on Sheldon Street in Fitchburg.
In the moment to get that elusive result that you've been chasing. And so that's what's really motivated me, is this idea that I haven't seen my best yet, and I really want to.
They're all the way to the state championship at Gillette, and they won. This huge accomplishment will go down in SUE history. Yeah, give them a round of applause. They deserve it. We have learned the true meaning of our school motto, love one another.
The sun is out, and so will the brightness of our future when we are officially graduates of Fitchburg High School.
First time others were proud of me, and I was honestly proud of myself.
Hold on to the people you love, because you never really know how much time is on the clock.
Fighters in the line of duty.
Now they must once again plan to honor one of the city's bravest.
I think it's got other kids excited who normally might not have thought they could play at the next level.
Thinking time will run out, and for the first time ever, the Falcons will fly on.
Elderly people who said, I've been waiting so long for this day, you don't know what this means.
And now that Chris is gone, she inherited 400 fathers and mothers.
Hi, welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm Sam Squalia, and I have on with me now Josiah Richards. You are kind of the steward of the Gateway Park Community Garden.
Yes, I am.
Which is right on Sheldon Street in Fitchburg, near Riverside Commons and the Yarn Works.
Yeah.
Dario's, behind Rick Roberti's, right on River Street.
Exactly. Well, it's on Sheldon Street.
Well, it's on Sheldon Street.
Right
Well, Rick Roberti on Sheldon, on River.
Yeah, the old, the site of the old Yarn Works factory back in the day.
The old Yarn Works factory?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was part of the Yarn Works?
I don't know the exact campus, but there was a factory there. Some people remember.
Except it burned down, or?
I'm not exactly sure of that history. My understanding is it was demolished at one point. I know a few people who remember buying yarn there.
Really?
So yeah. Yeah.
And we got like $1 million grant under Mayor Wong.
Yep.
And the trustees of reservation, or was it the?
Yeah. It was the trustees of reservations and a number of other community partners got together to clean up what was called a brownfield at the time. And it was a community partnership with the city, the Department of Public Works, the Parks and Recreation, and
Trustees of Reservations.
Trustees of Reservations, thank you. North County Land Trust. There were a whole bunch of community partners, and the Department of Environmental and Energy Affairs, I think I got that name right, back in 2011. There was some groundwork to get the park re-landscaped. There was a whole
remediated
all the soil, brought in all new soil and loam and trees. And actually, just a few weeks ago, we had the Day of Caring, which many people are probably familiar with.
United Way.
With United Way. Gateway Park was one of the sites that was chosen for a beautification project.
Yeah.
So we cleaned up some limbs, cut down some old trees, and brought the park back to life a little.
So that was part of like a Gateway City kind of grant,
Yep.
and so hence it's called Gateway Park.
Yes, yes. Its namesake shares the same Gateway City initiative that many cities across the Commonwealth.
And really, I mean, that park, Gateway Park, was transformative for the entire area in West Fitchburg right there.
Yeah.
Because after Gateway Park was created, the Riverside Commons, was converted into apartments.
Yep.
Now that there's this beautiful park, it's a real amenity for the people that live there. And then not too far after that, we have the Yarnworks mill, the old mill there that got renovated.
Yep.
And then not too long after that, the Knockegg mill turned into office space.
And the Department of Social Services moved in there. So really the park functions as a backyard for many of the residents in that part of town. A lot of people use it to walk their dogs. It makes a nice loop trail, not only within the park, but if you follow it down the river out behind Independent Cleaners, there's a path, and you go behind
you can go up
Riverside Commons
Yeah,
again.
and there's a beautiful path that goes along both sides of the river.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's about a half mile, right?
Roughly, yeah. So it was really just, a lot of these projects were kind of going on concurrently, but they were all kind of contingent on each other. So there was a big overall vision that at the time Lisa Wong, and I think it started when she was on the Redevelopment Authority to redevelop that part of Fitchburg and bring residents in.
And look at it today.
And it's all come to fruition.
Right.
And I see some pictures are going up from the community garden.
And so,
which is what we're really here to talk about.
So speaking of growing in your backyard, right? So there's a community garden there that kind of serves as a backyard for many of these people with no backyards in large apartments.
Exactly.
So the Yarnworks and Riverside Commons both have direct access, walking access, right to this park and right to the community garden. Which is this beautiful gated-in, fenced-in area with this pergola and flower gardens and garden boxes.
Exactly. So one of the features of this park was a community garden, and that was sort of instrumental in the overall creation of the park, was to have a place, and that's seeing some of the pictures here. It was as a place, not only the backyard, but a place for people to grow food. And one of the contingents is you need to be a resident of Fitchburg. Although even if you had a strong vested interest in the city, we've had other gardeners from Ashby, but it's really meant for the residents of Yarnworks, Riverside Commons, West Street, who don't have backyards or a place to grow food, because a lot of soil around town might have lead in it, may not be safe, and not enough sunlight, so it's a great asset in that regard.
Plus you could garden together with other people.
Yeah, so I feel the community garden has brought some neighbors together. Right now there's a couple really strong gardeners. They've done some...
Can we throw the pictures up of the really strong gardens? They look awesome. Let's throw those up on the main screen.
This was early in the season.
That was this year.
They actually rebuilt that garden bed, and they planted right in the ground, and they brought in their own loam, their own growing material, and that was really early in the season. I don't remember all the crops they had.
Well, we got some pictures of some crops.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah, it looks like some lettuce maybe, or Swiss chard. Yeah, that's a great picture because you got the mural too.
Oh yeah. The strawberries there.
The strawberries, not bad.
And here's
some work.
This is the spring cleanup.
Yeah, this was done from the spring cleanup.
Yeah, so you can see the pergola there in the distance, and we started to build those garden beds. There's a few raised garden beds which are good for handicap accessible beds.
Yeah, so there's many different ways you can build a garden bed. You can do it directly in the ground, or you can do a raised bed, which most people do, about 8 inches off the ground, and fill it with soil, or ones that are a little higher for easier access for people in a wheelchair.
Almost 30 inches?
Yeah, about 30 inches, not quite 3 feet, but more than 2 feet. And so folks in a wheelchair, they can just bend over, and no more than 4 feet wide. Most people can reach about 2 feet, so that works well for that. And then 8 feet long, just gives you good garden space. So that's a great.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a great one. You can see the before and after.
Yeah, that's a really good before and after picture.
Hey, we worked hard that day.
Yeah, the original beds were
falling apart.
Falling apart
because they were what, 10 years old or so.
The wood was at least. The wood actually came from 2008 from a bunch of trees that fell in that storm. Really? Yeah, the 2008 storm.
Cool.
Yeah. And then it was actually donated from the trustees of reservations. They had milled all the wood on site, and we just trucked it down and built beds. Huh. And then so that was 2011, and then this was just this past year. So those beds lasted us almost 7 years. Mm-hmm. So
not bad.
But it's not treated. There's no chemicals in the wood, so the expectation is maintenance, and you got to replace them.
Right.
Because you don't
want to use pressure treated.
Exactly.
Then you'll have chemicals leaching into the soil.
Right.
And then into your food and.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's a flower garden around the center pergola area.
Yeah.
With the gorgeous flowers almost all year long.
Yeah.
Right. Here's a good picture of the flowers. Can we show that? That's real pretty.
Yeah.
What are these? I don't know what those are.
I'm not sure. And those look like.
Snapdragons?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I know who would. I want to give a shout out. Christopher Benoit has been, he's a local massage therapist.
New Body Massage. Right next to Strong Style Coffee.
Right next to Strong Style Coffee. He's been there for about 8 or 9 years. He tends the garden, the flowers around the pergola. So
he does
not only,
good flowers.
he loves flowers, but he's also very in tune with the body. And, anyway, that's a little plug for him. But he's been tending that garden for years. He doesn't grow vegetables, but he's the one that maintains the flowers. So kudos to him for that.
Yeah. So you handle the gardeners.
Yeah.
And Chris handles the flowers.
Honestly, I don't have much of a green thumb. I kill plants in my own home. But there I am.
Oh, there you are.
So after a big cleanup.
Yep.
Sorry, ragweed cough, I think. Where was I going with that? Oh, I don't have a green thumb, but I do. I help manage the gardeners that do grow there. So
if we want to get involved and we want to grow, how do we find out?
Yeah, you can reach out to me. We have a Facebook page, both for the community garden and the overall park. So we're actually working on creating a friends group for Gateway Park. Mm-hmm. And through that, we might find more volunteers, other gardeners. I think most of my contact information is on there, or you can just email me through the Facebook page or email.
And then we have a garden cleanup day coming up.
Yeah. So Saturday the 26th, weather permitting.
October 26th.
Yes, October 26th. From 9 to noonish, we'll do a community garden cleanup.
Oh, there it is. Can we throw this on the main screen? There we go.
Yeah.
So Saturday, October 26th from about 9 to 1 p.m. at the Gateway Park Community Garden. We're going to be getting our hands dirty.
Oh, yeah.
And cleaning up the beds as much as we can for the winter.
Exactly.
So bring your rakes and some bags and
bring rakes,
your gloves.
Yeah, some garden bags, but we hopefully can ask the DPW again to pick up any refuse. And if anybody wants to adopt a garden bed for next spring, they're also welcome to stop by and give us their name, and I'd be happy to assign a bed.
And it makes you feel good getting your hands dirty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you get your hands all in the dirt. Yeah. You feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also kill plants, but I'm good at killing them. When I rip them out of the weeds.
It's really cathartic when you have an opportunity to clean up a garden or community garden or work outdoors. I feel like a lot of us have office jobs or we sit at home on our computers, but to get outdoors and just get your hands dirty. But if you're going to come volunteer, make sure you wear appropriate footwear, long wear, bring gloves, any
long
tools.
Wear?
Well, I like pants or sleeves.
I can't wear shorts?
You can wear shorts if you want, but I learned the hard way you can get poison ivy.
Where's their poison ivy?
Well, luckily,
not in the garden.
Not in the garden, but around the park.
During the United Way Day of Caring, the crews also cleaned up a lot of the Gateway Park.
Yes.
And did they also work on the pollinator garden?
Oh, yeah. So we cut down a few weed trees that were growing, and the pollinator garden, some paths were cut for walking through. And I know that with the pollinator garden, which is outside of the community garden, it's that first sort of
unkempt area,
like as you first drive into the park. A lot of people are curious as to why that looks so unkept. That's by design. It's meant to be a pollinator garden.
It's supposed to be a naturalized
area. It should be mowed a little bit more often to help plant growth and stimulate new growth for the next season. And so the pollinator garden is intended to bring birds, bring bumblebees, all kinds of bugs, not just bees that spread pollen.
The good bugs.
The good bugs, the good bugs. And also there's the daylighted stream that runs through there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people forget about that.
Oh, that little
So there's actually a natural brook that runs through the park right there that was built over by the factory.
That runs by the pollinator garden.
Exactly. It runs through it and under it into the Nashua River. And it's a little tributary that runs down from, actually there's a great little gorge up the river from that too. And so the stream was daylighted as part of the Gateway Park redevelopment. So it's a really interesting piece of history to see the brook and how it was, walled in, but we've given it the light of day again.
Yeah, during the cleanup, you could see I didn't throw the before and after pictures up, but those were good.
Oh yeah, I had some good before and after pictures.
It was very covered in weeds, and now
I think
it
if
looks.
you go to the Facebook page, I posted a few.
Yeah, so the Gateway Park Community Garden Facebook page, or the Friends of Gateway Park Facebook page. There are two.
There are two. Yeah, they're kind of separate entities. The garden page is for gardeners and people interested in garden, and the Friends group, which will hopefully grow in popularity.
Yes. The Fitchburg Greenway Committee is trying to help organize Friends groups as well. So if you're interested in getting involved at Gateway Park Community Garden or the Gateway Park itself, and just want to help volunteer with the upkeep or maybe start events, that park is a beautiful park with that kind of amphitheater kind of space. That would be perfect for events. So if you have an event that you want to do,
Yeah, it's hard to see from the street, but there is there's supposed to be electrical access there, and there is a great amphitheater kind of stage area. You don't really see it well from the street, but once you walk up there, you get a feel for what's there.
Seating area.
And just recently, a group had a small gathering there, and they gave a little shout out on Facebook for it. So I thanked them and I asked for some pictures. But so people do use the park. It's a wonderful asset for that part of town.
It's really a gorgeous walk through the woods too, on that path. Especially in the fall.
In the fall, this time of year.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, well, maybe not tomorrow because it'll be raining and wet, but
it's going to bring down all
some of the leaves are going to
leaves.
come down tonight. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
So hopefully people got out this weekend and enjoyed the outdoors.
Yes, and then next weekend they come and help clean up the community garden.
Yep.
I'll be there.
Thank you, Sam.
Welcome.
I can always get
Josiah. Getting my hands dirty. I plan on cleaning that path. I want that path to be spick and span.
Yeah. The United Way, they cleared up a lot of the path.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
But not all of it.
Not all of it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's an ongoing.
So there's also a compost area.
Yeah. Actually, there was a picture up earlier of it. It's not the prettiest thing.
Compost is never the prettiest thing.
But I have to say, that produced some pretty good dirt after a couple of years.
You kind of stick a pitchfork in there and just turn it?
Yeah, you just turn it over with a pitchfork. I actually, while I'm on TV, I should make a pitch. We need more pallets.
Pallets?
Yeah.
Oh, for the compost?
Yeah.
How many pallets? You
3?
build the wall around?
Yeah. So what I did is I just zip tied them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I really need.
5 pallets.
I do 2 bays.
And you don't want these not treated pallets?
Probably not treated,
None of them are treated, though.
I don't think they are. Yeah. So if anybody out there hears this, just drop them off and I'll put them together.
Drop them off at the community garden.
Yeah.
Send a message to.
Yeah, you might want to message me.
Send a message on Facebook just so that Josiah knows.
Yeah.
To the Gateway Park Community Garden.
Yeah.
Or the Friends of Gateway Park.
Yeah, either one. I check both pages. Yeah.
Anything we missed?
We covered a lot.
We have about 35 seconds left.
Oh yeah. You can also email me.
Oh, what's your email?
JosiahWR@gmail.
That's JOSIHWR. AH.
Yeah.
We'll do that again.
JOSIAHWR@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or because not everyone uses Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Josiah,
You're
for
welcome.
coming on, and thank you for taking care of the Gateway Park Community Garden,
Thank you for
because
having
it is a great resource for not only Riverside Commons and the Yardworks, but for the entire area in the region.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thank you for coming on, discussing Fitchburg Now, and thank you at home for watching. I hope you've learned a lot about what's going on in Fitchburg. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Okay, bye.